The name Elon Musk is not a stranger to headlines and social attention. However, he is mostly always linked to his companies, Tesla and SpaceX, including his recently acquired Twitter. Also, his status as the richest man in the world takes him to the forefront of the media's attention. Besides his executive portfolio, Elon Musk is a very active member of the Twitter community. This has made him a recipient of various interactions, praises, and controversies. Being an eccentric CEO, it doesn't take long for regular social media debates to turn into controversies for him. Interestingly, it happened again, but it was a bit too far. Someone called Elon Musk a fraud. Whew. Grab your popcorn, it's about to go down. Before we dive into the details of what happened, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here, I give insights and details on the recent updates in the tech space. If this is your first time viewing my content, kindly subscribe and ring that bell so you can get instant notifications for my recent videos. With that done, let's go into the details of today's content. The whole saga started on December 13th, 2021, when the Times magazine declared Elon Musk as the Person of the Year. The criteria for this selection is that whoever will be the Person of the Year must have had a strong impact on society and the world, positively or otherwise. With careful consideration, it was obvious that Elon Musk fit into the shoes perfectly, as he greatly influenced the people, the financial market, and the world at large. However, someone didn't seem too pleased about this. That person was Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Elizabeth Warren is a Democrat senator from Massachusetts in the United States. She has long had a bias towards billionaires and has since pushed for a wealth tax where anyone who has a net worth of over $50 million should be made to pay additional taxes. Elon Musk, being a very active member of the Twitter community, is not a stranger to confrontations and political disputes. However, things went sideways when his wealth was questioned and he was labeled a fraud. On December 13th, 2021, Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted, "Let's change the rigged tax code so the Person of the Year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else." If you follow Elon Musk closely on Twitter, you'll know he doesn't back down from a confrontation, and this one was no exception. Recently, Elon Musk got into a war of words on Twitter with Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat senator from Massachusetts in the United States. This is not the first time Elon Musk has been in a political dispute, but this time his wealth was questioned and he was called a fraud. Elon Musk immediately slammed her with a jaw-breaking reply. It read, "And if you opened your eyes for 2 seconds, you would realize I will pay more taxes than any American in history this year." With this, the battle line was drawn. Elon's spontaneous response condemned the senator's tweet, which was liked and shared by thousands. He responded to Senator Warren's tweet by adding more replies and a link to a Fox report about her ancestry. How does that change things? Well, that's a psychological move. It's called projection. In projection, we unconsciously assign unwanted traits or emotions to someone we do not like about ourselves. Musk is calling Warren a fraud and accusing her of freeloading. He attached a link about Elizabeth Warren in which she was viewed as a fraud for lying about being Native American. The argument in the link Elon Musk provided stated that it's been well documented that Elizabeth Warren has repeatedly lied about her race. This makes her unfit to occupy the White House or to serve in the Senate. Posing as a Native American has repeatedly given her a competitive advantage in her academic, career, and personal life. Her presidential campaign should be stopped before the campaign begins, and she should resign her Senate seat. However, Elon didn't let it end here. He replied later by saying, "You remind me of when I was a kid and my friend's angry mum would just randomly yell at everyone for no reason." In another tweet, he wrote, "Please don't call the manager on me, Senator Karen." Well, if you don't know, according to pop culture, Karen is an American middle-aged white woman with a bizarre bob cut who asked to speak with the manager at the slightest inconvenience. I found the comparison amusing and light-hearted when compared to being called a fraud. The looming question now is, how did Senator Warren respond to all of this? Instead of keeping the banter to Twitter, the senator published a fundraising email on the night of the altercation criticizing the billionaire. She described Elon Musk as a poster child for how billionaires pay almost no taxes because of a rigged tax code. In addition, she highlighted some of his greatest achievements in her mail, citing Musk's additional $100 billion during the pandemic. She said, "When someone makes it big in America, millionaire big, billionaire big, the Person of the Year big, part of it has to include paying it forward so the next kid can get a chance too." She again talked about the wealth tax. In a tweet, she also mentioned that Musk didn't pay federal income tax in 2018. She argued that things like this showed we needed a wealth tax. Since her first term in the Senate, Senator Warren has been a tireless advocate of a wealth tax. The issue was a focal point of her presidential platform in 2020. She has since proposed legislation that will implement an ultra-millionaire tax in households worth $50 million and more. Elon has criticized this tax law that Democrats legislative have pushed over time. He would owe about $50 billion if this wealth tax was passed. Elon tweeted, "Eventually they run out of people's money and then they come for you." When the heat increased, Senator Warren said Musk prefers to put a personal spin on things rather than engage with others. While appearing on a New York Times podcast, Kara Swisher asked her about the tweets exchange from December. She commented on the amount of tax Elon Musk pays. Swisher specifically asked her if the insult bothered her. Warren responded that Musk prefers to talk about personal things instead of what's wrong with taxes. Warren also added that Musk did not file a federal income tax return for 2018. In her view, every nurse, firefighter, and worker paid more taxes than Elon Musk in the past year, and that's a broken tax system. Elon responded by saying he has an annual tax bill of $11 billion. Musk's recent stock trade filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission backed up the claim that he will pay that amount. It's a pretty big total, and you may be wondering how and why he's paying such a large amount of money. The reason is Elon Musk is the world's richest person, but he earns no salary or bonus. Instead, he receives stock options that give him the right to buy Tesla shares at a price equal to the market price when those options are issued. But that price will likely be below its value when the options are exercised. In 2012, Elon was granted 25.5 million split-adjusted options. As Tesla hit some financial and operational targets, 22.9 million of those options were vested over time. Until Elon purchased shares with those options, he did not have to pay taxes on them. As the holder of that block of options has until August 2022 to convert them into shares, Elon has already begun doing so early in November and has already filed the required SEC documents to document the transactions. For someone in Elon Musk's tax bracket, that works out to 40.8% in tax if he exercises these options. That is the reason behind this massive tax bill. Bloomberg currently lists Musk as the world's richest person, with a net worth of $203 billion. According to him, he could file his tax returns within a day. He said, "My taxes are super simple. I do not have any offshore accounts. I do not have any tax shelters." He noted that he was not engaged in any tax avoidance schemes. He told the publication that he owned Tesla and SpaceX stocks and that all of his holdings were completely transparent. In addition, he explained that his worth was calculated by multiplying the value of his two companies by the ownership stakes he held in them. Elon's wealth is not some deep mystery that needs to be unraveled. It is transparent as it can be. Earlier this year, he also called out for a tax omission on Twitter. He also got into a heated disagreement with Bernie Sanders in November. In a recent tweet, Senator Bernie Sanders referred to the extremely wealthy and stated, "We must demand that the extremely wealthy pay their fair share, period." Musk responded, "I keep forgetting that you're still alive." A few weeks ago, he gave Senator Elizabeth Warren a swipe when he said, "I'm literally paying the most tax that any individual in history has ever paid this year. Ever. And she doesn't pay taxes, basically. And her salary is paid for by the taxpayer like me. If you could die by irony, she would be dead." In response, Warren replied that everyone in America today would be a little or a lot wealthier if they didn't have to pay federal income taxes for years. What do you think of this banter between Elon Musk and Senator Warren? Let me know in the comments section. With that, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and gained valuable information. Let us know your feedback, thoughts, and questions in the comments section. Also, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to subscribe and put on the notification bell and share this video.